thank you very much for deciding to come on the Founders Show. Thank you very much for at
thanks
least
for
coming
having
through.
me. Yeah.
I mean, like, this is so cool to have you, because I mean, like, I've known you a couple of months, but the work that you do is just insane. And if you can just share exactly like the number one thing that we love so much is the sticky ribs. You understand? The sticky ribs that everyone raves about. And yeah, if you can just share the journey that you shared with me, especially with your dad as well, because I know your dad has been in the business.
Yeah, we started from nowhere.
Yeah, and how did you get into the business? So it was like,
I was forced. Coercion. But no, it's a similar story to you, but totally different again.
Yes, yes.
We started doing nothing. Well, my dad, he had a restaurant back in the 80s, or started in the 70s.
Yeah.
And he had a good recipe for ribs. And the restaurant was called the Gallery Grill. It was a Mill Park in Joburg.
Okay.
The whole idea of that restaurant was a cute idea.
Yes.
It was a steakhouse, and they had art on the side, and you could buy the art and take it home.
Yes.
But anyway,
that's so cool. Huh? I think that's like an Italian type of concept.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But long story short, he had the ribs there. He had a good recipe for ribs and started supplying them to other restaurants because they were so good. He got together with a partner, who at that stage was his greengrocer.
Yeah.
And they started distributing the ribs together.
Okay.
Fast forward a little bit later, they started cooking the ribs, because ribs are tough as a napa cut.
Yeah.
So started cooking the ribs and making the sauce on top of the greengrocer in a small shop in Emerentia in Joburg.
And that's a secret sauce. Huh?
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's,
we like
that's
KFC,
actually
the Colonel's secret recipe.
Yeah.
And slowly started from there. Very, very slow. So that's 1985, same year I was born. So when I tell people the business is 40 years old, they look at me like I'm you liar. But that's when they started.
Yes.
And they went for about 6 years in those premises. 91, moved to a small little mini factory in Straighton Park, like at 300 square meters. Started supplying more restaurants. Fast forward to about 2000, slowly moved into taking that great restaurant flavor to retailers.
Yes.
By then, they'd moved to a slightly bigger factory in Honeydew.
Yes.
And I joined end of school, called it 2004.
Yeah.
By that stage also, so just going back a bit, as I mentioned earlier, there was the greengrocer, a guy, Johnny Candelaria.
Yes.
So him and my dad were partners right from the beginning.
From the beginning,
So effectively founded it together. Johnny, who passed away about 10 years ago, his son joined the business, about 10 years older than me. He joined, I think you met him briefly, David. But so David joined in about 91 or 94, sometime then, early 90s.
Yes.
I was still in primary school.
Yeah.
And he joined
like way back, huh?
Yeah, they had like 30 employees or so.
Yeah.
And we grew, you know what they say, it's an overnight success.
Yeah, it looks like
30 years.
It took 30 years to actually come through. So when you came into business, I mean, how was that feeling? Especially,
they were
especially
there.
growing up. I mean, like, especially like, feeling, if you think about our kids, for example, our kids, intentionally we want them to be part of the business.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's their decision. So you say you were forced into the business.
No, I joke about being forced. I went to varsity. During varsity, I started working. So there's a small factory shop in the Honeydew factory, which they had at that stage.
Yeah.
So I worked a little bit in the factory shop as a cashier, and talking to people and selling ribs.
Yeah.
There was some varsity work. And then I also, at that stage, they had no formal bookkeeping or anything there. So I actually started as a part-time bookkeeper. So it was my first office job. So I used to process debtors and creditors and that sort of stuff during varsity. So I got to know the business a bit. My dad was very keen for me to join. I went for one job interview to a bank, an investment bank. Went through a few rounds of interviews. I didn't get it. Otherwise, I would have been a banker.
Serious?
Yeah, it would have been a different world.
Would have been a different world, totally different world.
And that was November, and then so January I came to work.
What did you study?
I did a BCom Finance and Law.
Okay.
So I was going to be a lawyer, switched to finance.
And
then became, people think I'm a butcher.
Yeah.
But it was what I was. And then joining the
Yeah.
business was literally starting and doing anything. So it was
Yes.
first loading trucks, just being in the factory, taking orders. And by that stage, I fast forwarded a bit with that. By then,
Yes.
got a little bit into pick and pay.
Yeah.
But we weren't doing much business in pick and pay. And
Yeah.
a great innovation had come up, and I joke about it. But,
Yeah.
I thought, because we used to wait for pick and pay to phone us for orders.
Orders, okay.
So then I
okay.
thought, well, why don't we just phone the stores and see if they want anything?
Ah,
then, I made
so
a
you started being proactive.
So I made a role for myself, which
Yes.
was telesales.
Ah, nice.
So that was
nice.
part of my job. After loading trucks, we would phone pick and pays and see where we could get orders from.
But how important is that process? Because I mean, like, I'm sure they contributed to the massive growth in the beginning.
Yeah, to an extent, yeah. Sales is very important.
Yeah.
Without sales, doesn't matter how good the product is. If you don't talk about it, if you don't ask people to buy it, no one's going to buy it.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
mustn't forget about the product. And I think
Yes.
that's really what BRM was built on from when we were a teeny business until now. So then fast forward in another 7 years, in 2014, we built a big factory of 8,000 square meters. It's world class.
Yes.
It's a monster now.
No, it's a monster. I mean, like, I visited the premises and it was on a whole new level. I mean, I've never seen such a huge butcher in my life.
And I think, it's still all about the product,
Yeah.
but there's a whole bunch that goes with it. So
Yeah.
the quality's always there. Like we really try to live by our principles.
Yeah.
And one being just quality. And we say quality is what we guarantee to the customer.
Yeah.
And it's how we get them back again and again. So
But how do you maintain that quality? Because, especially when it comes to quality, I think, like, to scale as fast as you have, and just to give people context, is that the amount of pork ribs that you all sell each and every month, I think it exceeds 1 million kgs. Is that right?
yeah, not quite. About half of that, actually. Yeah.
Is it? So it's like
it could be
500
500,000 or so. 3 to 500,000, depending on the month.
500,000 ribs.
Yeah. It's a lot of ribs.
Yeah, 500,000
There's a lot
ribs.
of ribs. There's a lot of pigs to start. There's not all pigs. There's some beef ribs. There's some lamb ribs. There's
Yes.
some other products as well. But considering that 1 kilo of ribs comes from one animal, there's a lot of animals that we haven't started.
Yes.
But yeah, it's a challenge. I think what we've done is, as we've gone from being this very authentic, I compare it to you, one barber shop, one butcher shop,
Yes.
where you could taste every batch,
Yeah.
is we've systemized.
Yeah.
So we really believe in systems now.
Okay.
And it's a hard one because we really want to remain authentic as well.
Yeah.
The last thing we want to become is too big.
Yeah.
We want to be we want to
so
be a
true.
big company, but with that little heart all the
With
time.
heart as well. I
I
understand.
think it's the last thing you want to be like. I still look at some bigger companies and admire a lot of big companies, but
Yes.
they lose
They lose the
the
authenticity.
passion,
Yes.
authenticity. It's a great word.
Yes.
But we do systemize. So we were the
Yes.
first ISO 22000 accredited company in all of Africa in 2006,
Yes.
and we knew nothing. We just thought systems and how do we do this, and we learned on the fly. And today we've got systems for everything. So we've got over 30 quality controllers in the factory. We've got an automated system. We track everything. So we've gone from being very putting your hand in the sauce and licking it to see it's right to lab coats and science.
Yes.
And that's really been the change to the business.
Yeah, but I think especially when it comes to the systems as well. I know the system plays such a big role, but especially like up and coming entrepreneurs. I mean, like, what's the simplest, most effective way in installing those systems? Because it does become difficult when you're coming up as an entrepreneur.
I'm going to say something that sounds counterintuitive.
Yeah.
Actually, the people who run the system.
Yes.
And that's what I was going to get to. And it's all still about the people.
Yeah.
And
People over systems.
yeah, because otherwise the system, bullshit in and bullshit out.
Yeah.
So it's all about finding the right people with the right culture. Like, I also, as I've grown and learned about things, I always used to want to hire the best people.
Yeah.
And a number of years ago, I learned, or someone who was actually working for us taught me,
Yes.
it's not about the best people. It's about the best people for us, the best BRM people.
Ah, yeah.
Because, you know, just because you're the best
Just because
somewhere,
you're the best. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, you need to fit to our culture. And it's very hard to train that, you know.
How important is that? Because especially what you're saying is that because most of the time we are taught A's, A's, A's. You understand?
Yeah.
A players, A
Correct.
players.
Yeah.
And then it becomes like, come I get the best talent out there, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get the best talent out
But
there.
they must be able to deal with your culture and in
Yes.
your way of working.
Yeah.
They can't just be the cleverest.
Yeah.
There's a lot of clever people, but they don't have the right attitude. And to me, as a business leader, I feel that's actually, forget it, as a leader, as an entrepreneur, the most important thing in a business is who you have around you.
Yeah.
It's what I probably, the thing that most stresses me out. I've always used to be an unstressed guy. As I've got a little bit older, I think you start stressing a bit more. But the thing that stresses me more
Paranoia.
is, do I have the right people? Do I have the right team?
Yes.
Am I good enough to do it? Your own
true.
self-doubt.
That's true.
But about people all the time. And I've started to spend even more time on interviewing and getting to know the people.
Yeah.
And sometimes people say, just make a decision. This person's good. They've got everything on paper. And
Yes.
you don't feel them,
Don't do it.
don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Because how do you justify that? Because I mean, like you as an entrepreneur, you can actually feel that. There's a gut feeling that you just have that, you know, now you're making the right decision or a bad decision. And you can feel that, you understand. But looking at it, just looking at it in terms of your business itself. I mean like if people are so important, why are we still struggling with talent in South Africa? Because I mean like it's
You're going to have to do more than a haircut to get through this. We're going to be gone for long. I don't know. It's a scary thing. And, you know, you talk to everyone about it. There's like, there's unemployment and there's millions of people. I don't know. We're looking in the wrong place. Maybe some people want to get there too quick.
Yeah.
I think, but then there's a lot of good people.
Yeah.
There really are. You know, the worst thing is, though, there's a lot of people that don't necessarily crack it sometimes.
Yeah.
And they're still good people.
They're
Like,
still
you know,
good
there's seldom you find bad people. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know,
That's true. That's true.
thieves or whatever. Like, not many people come to work to stuff around.
To stuff it up. Yeah. That's true.
But some
That's
people
true.
do.
Some people, some people intentionally do that.
Yeah.
But I do believe in that case, I think leadership plays a critical role
Yeah.
in actually shaping those people's futures as well.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes as leaders or entrepreneurs, we sometimes forget what our role's meant to be there.
Yeah.
And I think it's, it's often you put the mirror up to yourself.
Yes.
And
yes.
you think, well, what are you doing
What are you doing
to
about
get
it?
them there? Like, how come
Yes.
everyone's so shit? Maybe I'm shit.
Maybe I'm sure. But that's the thing. Sometimes we don't take accountability for that. You understand? And I think that's the biggest thing, because sometimes you think you have to hire somebody. This person's supposed to know what they do and they're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
But leadership is actually directing them and showing them the way, taking full accountability for every decision that happens within your business.
And it's hard.
It's hard. It's tough. It's tough. I think accountability has been one of the biggest challenges, because it's true what you say, looking in the mirror and trying to figure out, where did I go wrong?
Yeah. No, accountability is everything. Just today, I was watching, we got cameras, so we got 370 people in the factory, and we've got cameras all over. In my office, I've got cameras there. And I was sitting there early this morning, and I was watching one production line. It was just on there, and I was busy doing something. And then I was just watching a guy doing nothing. Literally just standing there doing nothing. And then I looked down, I carried on, I did an email, I looked back, the guy's still doing nothing. So then I'm like, I can't. My blood's boiling.
And then what did you do?
So then I took off my clothes, put on my white coat, and I go down into the factory. I went to her. What are you doing here? Because I'm putting stickers on. You're doing nothing. I'm watching you for 10 minutes. You've done nothing. No, I'm waiting for this and that. And then the reality is, as angry as I was with him,
Yes.
I was totally at the wrong person, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's because that entire line's badly set up. We haven't arranged to have the right leader run the line.
Yes.
Whether he's shit or good,
Yes. That's true.
I'm not actually even sure.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, because you can't measure it because he's not at work.
yeah, it's like given the best soccer player in the world, you've got Ronaldo on your team.
Yes.
He's haven't played a game of soccer before, and you haven't told him what the aim of the game is to take the ball and get it in the net.
Yes. Yes.
Hey?
Yeah,
You just told him, go on the field,
Just go on the field
and watch
play.
what everyone's doing.
Play and play.
Okay,
and
and,
play.
and I'm being a bit more defeating than we are. We do give
Yes.
some level of training. But
Yes.
afterwards, like, when I was talking to some other guys and explained what happened, it wasn't necessarily that guy's fault. It was our fault for not setting up an environment for him to work in.
For him to work and thrive, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't mean not everyone's good, huh?
Yeah,
But there's
yeah,
some
yeah.
people that need to be cut. I think
Yes.
that's, we also do have a culture, I think, sometimes in
Yes.
South Africa of give everybody a chance.
Yeah, yeah.
Give everybody a chance, but how many chances?
How many chances do you give?
No, I do
the
believe
thing,
you must
yeah.
give chances.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. But the thing is, like, especially when it comes to that model, because, you know, like, one of the policies that I have in my business is that once somebody leave as a barber,
Yeah.
they're not allowed to come back in our
Okay.
store. You understand? So they're not allowed to apply for
Yeah.
legends anymore, and it has helped us for a long period. But then the guy comes back like 8 years later, and he's like, you know what? I'm really desperate to come back because we have a heart, and we're like, okay, no, it's fine, come back.
Yeah.
But I think it's true to your point. It's like that whole thing about just putting it out there and giving people a chance to work.
Yeah,
Understand?
no, it's a
Whenever
hard
they
one.
can.
That I also we used to have a policy of not taking people back. Then we
Yeah.
started to take people back a lot,
Yeah,
and we've been mainly burnt. I'll be honest.
yeah.
Mainly, actually, and a friend of mine, friend of my partner, more actually.
Yes.
These policies maybe a better one. Says you leave him once, it's okay. You come back and you leave again, then you've burnt all.
Then you burnt, of course. No, then you burnt. Then it's
Hey,
like-
I give you
it's like
one chance to go
Yeah.
out to the world.
Yes.
And see that you think the world's greener.
And then you come back, then it's not what
Yeah.
I say. You
Yeah.
think it is.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, but you can't, particularly with, like, I think what we've realized, talk about management and
Yeah.
training, and what I think what you have to do in South Africa, you need to build people up.
yeah.
You can't, to think you're going to get a 28-year-old or a 30-year-old who knows everything and is going to add value, it's not going to happen. You've got more chance to find a 22-year-old, a 23-year-old, whatever age it is.
Yes.
Let him grow with you, him or her, whatever it is.
And that's where loyalty comes in. Huh?
Yeah, build with them, give them a chance, train them, and it's that same thing, you know. But what happens if you train them, you leave? Well, if you don't train them
Then you don't.
and they stay, what happens then?
That's so true.
We train people, and some will go out into the world and make the country a better place. That's
Yes. Yes.
fine. But I think it's all about building things. Like, we've tried for long, and I give ourselves a 3 out of 10 so far. But I give ourselves a 7 because we still try.
Still trying. Yeah.
Is building like a graduate program. And I think it's the best thing to do, because if we can find some guys, and not all of them will stay, and maybe some will come and some will go.
Yeah.
But we have to build the skill, and I think that's what everybody needs to do here.
Yeah.
And it's not for the sake of getting points, and it's not for getting brownie points or
Yes.
CSR points or BE points or whatever it is. I mean, obviously, all of that you can get, and of course, why not? But it's about it's totally self-interest. Huh?
Yeah.
You're going to have a better business if you've got better people in it, and you need to build them.
That's so critical. How important is especially health in entrepreneurship, because, you know, like,
Super important.
it's like one of those things where we're just trying to figure things out. You understand?
Yeah,
We're just
health
trying to be
is,
fit.
yeah, I think if you're not healthy, like, firstly, if you're not healthy, you're going to miss work.
Yeah.
And if you're not there, you're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
It's obviously not always within your control, but I think that's the first thing. The less sick you are, the more you're going to be at work, which
more
is a
you
good
have to
thing.
Yes.
And then for me personally, if I don't train in the morning,
Yes.
something, I'm half asleep the whole day. I
Serious.
just find
You just find like,
I need to be awake.
feel like so lethargic and
Yeah.
like, yeah.
It's like if I can't wake up, so either run or go to gym.
Yes.
But and I think it just gives you a bit of a start.
Yeah.
It's and I think for so many people as well, it's just do something. You don't need to run the combat.
Yes,
You
yes,
don't need to
just-
type down marathon,
Just start with something.
but do something. I think it can be good for everybody. It's,
Yes. Yes. Yes, and especially, I think like, for me personally, it just gives me that mental edge. You understand? I mean, like, I feel because in the morning, I normally do my runs in the morning,
Yeah.
and then you start to reminisce on the daily tasks. What do I need to do today? You understand? And it just put things into perspective from that way.
No, it's you find the time for these things as well.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
you'll struggle to find like a successful CEO or business leader somewhere in the world who doesn't make time for health, for exercise,
Yes.
for meditation. I'm not quite
Yes.
there. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. On
but you know,
breathing exercise. I was the doctor the other day.
listen,
Show me how
listen.
you breathe. I said, tell me how you breathe. I'm breathing.
That's so crazy. That's so crazy. Especially when it comes to meditation. Like me personally, I'm not one for meditation. I'm like still trying to get into that yoga thing because like
I said, no, I get to work. I'm going to spend 10 minutes
yeah.
in the car before I get out. He says, then do it for 10 minutes, 2 other times in the day. I was like, sure, I'll try. I tried.
Is it? But does it work?
It helps a bit what I'm doing because I started not sleeping so well.
Yeah, yeah.
And, when I try to go to sleep, I just breathe a bit.
Yeah.
And I find it can actually help.
No, that helps a lot. That helps a lot. I think like I actually do that before I sleep at night, and while I'm laying in bed, I like that like 448. They call it 448.
Yeah.
448. We like breathe in 4 and basically just exhale. It helps a lot. It definitely helps a lot.
No, there's pressures out there. But, it doesn't help getting angry. I was saying it to someone else. I was chatting to them today. Similar, I was telling them the story about the guy I told you earlier who went down and was doing nothing.
Yeah.
And I was saying, geez, it just doesn't help getting angry.
No, it doesn't.
But knowing it doesn't mean you don't get angry.
Yes, yes.
But
tell me quickly, because you know, like Andy Grove wrote this book, Only the Paranoid Will Survive. And I know, like in your case, like it's like cameras all over, and like just trying to keep track of everything. How important is to have a level of paranoia, because especially as entrepreneurs?
Yeah, you must be absolutely paranoid.
Yeah?
It's everything. I don't think there's like we obviously supply into the retail business, and people say retail is detail, but like it's a nice rhyme.
Yeah.
But the reality, if you could say business is detail, I think every single business is detail.
Is detail, yes.
Yeah, either you do the detail yourself, or you get someone who you trust
to focus on.
To really do the detail.
Yes.
But if you're not looking at the detail in the business, you're going to be dead very, very soon, I think. It's, there's just anywhere in the world. I think even South Africa's a competitive place. So, you know, it's not an easy place. Everything's hard. We've become in a poorer country who wants good things still. And we play in a premium sector. And the customer, she wants good stuff at a good value point.
Good value point,
And to get there, it's all about detail.
Yeah.
But it's obviously there's a levels of trust. You can't do it all yourself. But I'm not saying. So I said you need trust.
Yeah, you need trust. You need trust.
Yeah,
I feel like it's like.
Yeah, I'm a thing that people think I don't trust anything. I don't know. You know, Ronald Reagan said,
It's like
trust but verify. so that's me. I'm like, trust you. I trust you. Well, can I see your numbers also?
Like my dad used to say, I trust you as far as I can see you.
I trust you.
Yeah.
So you need to trust people. You need to trust people to make mistakes, and that's to be honest, that's probably one of the biggest problems we have still in our business. Although as we become bigger, we haven't totally given up trust enough. And we're in a process of that. It's about creating the structures. I spoke earlier about systems.
Yes.
And I think finding ways that you can trust people more.
To actually
to make mistakes, to make affordable mistakes.
Yes.
You can't be an affordable mistake.
It has to be affordable. It can't be something else. I mean, you can't be making the same thing over and over.
Yeah, but let them make a mistake. Let them make decisions, because the worst thing for a business, and we fall into that trap often, is that every decision is coming up to you. If every decision is coming up to you,
then it becomes a problem.
Yeah, because the truth is you can't apply your mind to everything properly, then you're also going to make bad decisions.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true.
And I think you mentioned earlier, what's the culture? And I think we put a big emphasis on, and we're not there, because we will get in there, and time will hopefully be better.
Yes.
But I think if you've got a strong enough culture in a business, anybody empowered to make the decision will probably make the right
The
decision.
right decision.
It doesn't mean it's the same decision as I would make.
Yeah.
Because there's two different ways to go to the same route.
Yeah.
But if as long as it's made with the same principles and the same
principles,
culture,
yes.
it's fine.
It's fine, yeah. That's true. That's so true.
And I think that's when a business can grow and when it can like become a flywheel and just work.
Yeah, because like Peter Drucker says, what's this, culture beats strategy for
Every day, huh?
for breakfast. Yeah.
Strategy is important.
Strategy is important. Strategy is critical for your business. But I think your
culture's
culture, but culture is more important. And I think most of the time, us as entrepreneurs, we tend to, as we grow, we tend to leave the culture behind.
Yeah.
And we're not actually rallying the culture with us, because the culture is actually what made us be where we are today.
Yeah.
And just that's so critical. That's so critical.
No, it's 100%. It's what it's probably this like eureka moment I've probably had, I don't know, past 2 years or so.
Yeah.
Is that what we've become?
Yes.
It's the unwritten rules that have become the culture. And you're like, but when did that change?
Where did that come from? Where did that come from? That's so
and it's
good.
like, I don't think that way. But then you say, well, again, coming back to what we said about building people earlier.
Yeah.
But if you haven't put the effort in to tell people this is how the culture is, and find people with similar cultures.
Yes.
Because I think it's also, there's only so much training you can do. If we say we're quality driven, you actually need to find people who want the same sort of things.
Yeah.
That if they in their own life like want quality things or do great things, or for example, one of our things, we say we want to be the cleanest factory in the world.
Yes.
If you can imagine if the people in our cleaning team or managing cleaning don't have clean homes.
Don't have clean homes. That is right.
Or clean clothes. You need to think, well, how are they going to have the cleanest factory in the world?
The cleanest factory in the world.
But if you employ people who naturally want that and want to be organized and have things in place, then those are the people that actually, they naturally like thrive in the same environment.
That's so true. That's
It's,
so true.
Yeah, you can train people, but it's very hard to change people.
That's so important. I mean, like, that's like, wow. That's so cool. That's like, you can train people, but it's hard to change them.
Yeah. And I don't know if we should even. Is that even our job? I don't think it's our job to change people.
Because people come as they are. All you're just trying to do is to
I think
train
it's
them.
probably pretty un-PC for today. I'm going to change you anyway.
That's so true. So
and
somebody comes into your company and is like, no, we're going to... Tell me.
So it's not about diversity. Sometimes people also say, but what are you saying? Everybody must be the same. Everybody must think the same. Totally not.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like,
doesn't matter,
you can think differently. But you think it's almost like you're thinking in the same culture. I don't know how to say it. The same language. At least.
Yes. It's because whatever you relate it will be that ripple effect that goes on to the next people. So in terms of scaling, I think like, how do you make the decision to actually scale your business into a corporation? Because I know like with many businesses, they struggle to leapfrog into, and especially when it comes to putting the right system in place like you talked about, but with the scaling element, because scaling, there's so many forms that comes into scaling. How do small businesses actually do that? Because I think that's one of the greatest things that they struggle with. Do it slowly, and that's the other thing as well, huh?
Yeah, I don't know, but slowly. But the problem is you still need to leap sometimes as well. Because if you go too slow, you will never go. I think an entrepreneur, the reality is, and that's corporate speak. When you get to a level already, when you're too corporate, you would never do it. I think if you had to have the right advice when you started out, and you got the best accountant to give you the best Excel business plan, you would have said, don't do it.
Yeah, that's so true.
This is not going to work.
That's so true. That's so true.
So it is it's a level of sometimes just leap.
Yes.
Same with us when we built our big factory now. The truth is we totally misestimated the costs of what it was going to take to run it. We overshot the revenue that we thought we were going to do as well.
Yeah.
So that helped.
So that's
But I think had we known the cost, we might have said, no, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But I think it's a combination of do as much work as possible, but then go ahead. And I think as an entrepreneur, when you try scale, it's do the work.
Yeah.
You can never not do the work.
You can never do
I
the
think you need to work harder.
Yes.
You need to work to be successful. You need to work harder than other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's simple as that.
That's as simple as that.
It doesn't matter where you are. You need to work harder.
Yeah.
But you're never still going to know before you do it everything.
Yeah.
Colin Powell often said as well, like you're going to make decisions at best with 70% of the information. And I think if you can have 70% of the information and go, then you're good enough to go. If you're going to wait to get 100% of information,
Yeah.
it's done already.
It's done
Your
already.
competitor's going to have cleaned it up. They've gone home. The game's been played.
And I think that's the most difficult part because now you're in such a competitive environment
Yeah.
that everyone is competing for market share, and here you still analyzing and still trying to
Correct,
make
yeah.
decisions. I was listening to Sean Summits and he was talking about the change that he's making within the organization, and he says like one of the greatest things that he could do is cut down now and prune now so he can grow in the next year, next 2 to 3 years, you understand? He's already predicting it, and it's part of his growth plan. And I think many of the times we don't have that foresight as entrepreneurs because we just see things as of now.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean it's going to work.
It doesn't mean it's going to work,
Sure, they're incredibly important to us and we want them to succeed.
Yeah.
And we wish, obviously, them the best, and we part of the journey on trying to fix them. Is not that we can fix them. But, Sean's the one going to get lots of money for fixing them. But there's still risk. And I think that's what it is. There's always risk in business. You make these bold decisions, you prune, as you say.
Yes.
And it may or may not work because there's also luck in it. And I think there's, I don't know how much of it is luck, but without luck, there's nothing. Hard work is everything, and skill,
luck
and
just
this and
comes
that.
with it.
Yeah,
Luck just
but
comes
you
with
need
it.
some luck. You need some things
you
to fall the
definitely
right
need some
way.
luck.
Eh?
But in terms of that, I mean, like, I'm sure COVID has been crazy for you. During that time, I mean, especially while you're busy expanding and now you find COVID, everything is closed down. But in terms of your case, that you had to cut down on many things.
Yeah, COVID was funny for us. I remember, like, I learned a lot through COVID as a person, as a leader. My partner, David, he was very good in COVID.
Yes.
And probably we had our most disagreements that we ever had around it. And to be honest, looking back, 9 out of 10 things he was right and I was wrong.
Yeah.
Because I was panicking. Huh? I was watching CNN. Huh? You don't watch CNN. Huh? Bad. We're breaking news. The problem. And it makes you panic.
That's true.
And when you make decisions in panic, you make bad decisions.
You make bad decisions.
So, but nonetheless, just before, remember the 26th of March, just before we had lockdown here, we were like, I remember taking out a spreadsheet saying, who are we going to retrench?
Yes.
What's going to happen? Who are we going to cut? We're going to shrink. I'll load the trucks myself.
Yes.
And then what happened on the 2nd of April, our business is about 35% restaurants and food service. So obviously that side came to a halt.
Yeah.
Zero. Went from, 35% of our business closed down, and cash flow was tight because lots of those guys couldn't pay us.
Yes.
So it took us a number of months to get that money.
Just to recover.
But the retail side of the business went from the 26th of March to the 2nd or 3rd of April, and it felt like Christmas.
Serious?
Because it was so busy. Remember, everyone was at home.
Everyone was at home.
And everybody at first thought it was fun because they were having bras and going on teams for the first time.
Yes.
So we had this major spike, which was actually very difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
Because we had staff, we broke up onto different shifts. We had taxis, we were bringing people at different times and weekends. And the one major issue we had, we import a lot of product, we weren't covered, and it was very difficult to change prices for a number of months.
Yeah.
But we were very busy, so that we were lucky. So literally, as I say, end of March, we thought we were retrenching half the team. And I think by May or June, we were hiring people.
What?
We didn't make any money for 6 months. We turned over money. We didn't lose money. We broke even effectively because we couldn't recover the costs But
all
I think compared to so many other businesses, and I'm sure your
that.
business,
Yes.
it's a different story.
It's a different story. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not so true. It's so true. We struggled during that
Yeah.
time. And that was one of our most toughest times ever. But I think like it just, yeah. Like I mean, like I'm so optimistic about many things, and I always look at things from a positive light. And looking at COVID, COVID has taught us so many other things that it just gave us an opportunity to pause and just reevaluate our business.
Yeah.
Understand, which is so important because you don't get that time because you're constantly going, but you're not actually looking where you're going. You
No,
understand?
100%. You have to slow down.
You have to slow down. You have to slow
Okay,
down.
we don't need a pandemic to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to wish that on anyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, me, the biggest lesson is don't panic.
Yes.
When everyone's running, breathe.
Breathe, yeah.
Yeah, I guess
just
it
take
depends. If it's
yeah.
like a bullet coming at you, right?
Yeah, just take it, breathe it.
Hey, if the bear's running for you, if it's
Yes.
about to eat you, run up the tree. Huh?
Yeah.
I'm not saying like that, but generally, I think the reality is we don't live in that world. We don't have it. You don't need to react so quick. You need to react quick.
Yeah.
But generally, you have a second to do what you said, your quick breathing exercise, and think a little bit,
just
because
think
then you're going
about
to make a lot better long-term decisions. Talk about culture. I think that's something that we really try to drive all the time. It's not about
It's not
today.
about
Yes, you need to make money today because, well, we need to pay bills every month.
Yeah, that's true.
But long-term thinking is everything.
Yeah, that's critical. That's critical because if you think about the long term, then you're looking at what's the sustainability of your business, which is so important because most of the time while we're going at it, just looking at where the business is going to go through in the next 10 to 20, 30 years. Yes, and we just need to be around for that growth, but ensure that we scale properly, you understand? Like, you know what, I always say, like, if you look at legends and look at how many stores and all of these things, the moment that I am in now is like, I don't mind scaling, but I want to scale properly. You understand? Like you don't want, like you're not looking to take any shortcuts. You're not looking to cut corners, but you're looking to do it properly and with the right people and all of these things.
But quick enough.
But quick enough.
Quick enough.
Still quick enough. Still quick enough. Still quick enough in order for you to go to the next level because that's exactly how business is. You see, because once you're able to grow and people can see and people can recognize, it helps a lot. It definitely helps a lot,
You're really Africa's #1 barbershop, though, huh?
Oh.
That's what the sign says.
The science says, yeah.
What's the next level? The world.
Yeah, definitely. Tell me, are we going to shave it? Are we going to?
Yeah, we can.
How short do you want
You
it?
go quite short. I've actually got it much longer than I generally
Is it?
have.
Okay, I'll take it a bit short.
Actually, was that something yesterday? I think I said, what's this beard? I'm like, yeah. I put in a few kilos. I'm trying to hide the fat.
Tell me in terms of failure, because I know, like, especially like in my business, I failed so many times. How important is failure, especially in the entrepreneurship space?
I don't know. I'm still failing.
You're still failure?
Yeah, I think I was with some friends here last night and we're talking about it and self-doubt.
Yeah.
And like, the thing was like, it's tough. Like where we are now, it's funny enough, like in our category, prices are actually going down, like, which is a very hard place to be.
What?
We got costs going up, but like the commodity, the ribs, the pork prices, all of that's come down a bit.
Yes.
And to stay competitive, because even though we're premium, you still need to be competitive in the market.
Yes.
We drop in prices. So we almost 10% less than we were a year ago.
What? So now you can get your ribs 10% less?
Yeah, cheaper.
Yeah, guys,
Before
you
even
must
specials,
just stock up now. Just stock up now before it goes up. Yeah.
No one believes it.
Yeah. You see,
But I
that's
promise
crazy.
you it is. It's we're back at prices of probably 3 years ago now.
What?
And it's hard. It's where is the growth going to come from? And yeah, to me, it feels like failure because the biggest failure for me is sometimes like just feeling like you haven't progressed.
Yeah.
Like we spoke about strategy and we do these strategy plans and I pulled up something I did like 5 years ago and I looked at some of the challenges that we had then. We're going to solve them like this.
Yes.
I'm like, it's the same damn slide.
It's the same thing. Yeah.
I'm like, we still haven't done it, and that's a failure, and it's upsetting.
Yeah. That's so true.
But the reality is, if I'm just going to cry about it,
Yeah.
it's
It won't.
yeah. I think I'm not a soccer fan,
Yeah.
but lots of people are. I don't know.
Yeah.
Alex Ferguson used to say that losing was the best thing, because actually when you lost, it's actually when you learned.
Wow.
And I think
that's exactly
it's the games you lose is.
Yes.
So yeah, so maybe it's good I've had a couple of years of losing. And, you know, if you can lose without dying, I think that's really the best. Like
That's
it's
the
not
best.
now it's really suddenly painted the picture that the business is on its last legs. That's not the case.
Yes.
But just from the level of where I wanted to be, it feels like failure.
It feels like failure because you're actually regressing instead of
Yeah.
progressing.
You haven't really moved forward, which is not going where you want to be.
Yes.
But it's a matter of failure. Yeah, I think any champion knows how to fail. It's I think it's for our kids. We both got young kids.
Yeah.
And it's the hardest thing I can feel to teach my kids sometimes is to fail.
Yeah.
I feel like I was terrible at ball sports growing up, but I was always in the B team of soccer. And I was fine with it. I think it was great. Now my little 10-year-old doesn't want to play soccer because he loses. He's bad at it. I'm like, no.
That has a thing.
It's like, because the problem is in other things he does so well, so he doesn't want to fail. I'm like, but it's not life.
It's not life. It's not life. But how do you teach them failure?
I don't know. Just lose.
Just keep on.
They'll
Just
play
keep
him
on.
chess and like beat him. I teach him failure. I don't know.
But that's so crazy because somewhere, somehow, we all want to face failure, you understand?
Correct,
and we face it, we face it on a daily basis. And it's part of our lives, it's part of our livelihoods. Whether you're failing at certain element of your life.
And it's all elements. It's not only business. It's marriage, any relationship, family. You know, you need to work on things. And your marriage can be failing. Sometimes it's over and it fails and it's done. Other times
it's thriving.
And you can just fix it by putting the effort back in. And I think that's what it is.
And that's exactly
fail, try harder.
Just try harder and just try to come back. But I think we've raised a generation where they're not thinking that way, you understand? Where they're thinking, you know what, if I failed once, I'm done with it, you understand?
Correct.
Maybe it's not for me. Maybe it's
there's something else to be done.
There's something else to be done. That's so crazy. That's so crazy. Can I just shave you quickly?
Sure. Some things aren't for me. Like I tell you, I don't think I could give someone a haircut. I feel I would. I would make him bleed.
Just put it too close to the neck and start cutting. I hope the wife is happy, huh?
Sorry? Oh, I hope so too.
Yeah, she's happy with the haircut.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's getting there.
You good for time? Or?
Yeah, I know. I'm good for time. Are you fine? Sure. What time do you finish?
We never finish.
So you run like a 24-hour operation?
No, we do finish.
Is it?
Yeah. The factory runs almost all the time. So they start. We start like cooking at 7 in the morning.
Yes.
And we cook depending on the time of the year. So all our products, so that's really what differentiates us as well, is we do value-added products, which are generally all cooked.
Yes.
So,
and people don't know, especially like when you buy your ribs, you can eat it.
Yeah, you can eat it as
from the pack.
Out
of the bag. Yeah.
All you're doing is just giving it that final color.
Yes, that's the thing.
There's a bunch of other things we do, obviously, with the ribs is what makes us famous. But we cook depending on the time of the year between about 5 o'clock. To otherwise 10, sometimes up to 12. But the latest we can go is 12 with a double shift. But then every night we clean the factory for about 8 hours.
8 hours.
So they start at about 10 until 6.
What?
We then swab the factory at 5 in the morning.
What?
And there's a lot of WhatsApp groups, like a lot. I've got them all on mute in the morning. That's my mornings. It's just going through
just to make sure,
different groups from maintenance to cleaning to this to that.
All of it,
I don't always read them all. You like, don't even know what's going on.
You know what's happening. As long as you're part of the group, it's fine.
So there's always something happening.
There's always something.
And packing we do at night as well. So we do deliveries. Our latest deliveries are 7 or 8 at night. And then we start again the next morning. So we basically shut from about, unless we work Saturdays, but generally from Saturday afternoon, call it 5 o'clock. And then we'll work again Sunday, just day shift. So Sunday night.
Yes.
But we deliver 365 days a year now. It's horrible, huh? Asking someone to work on Christmas Day is not nice.
And people need it.
I don't know if people need it. Our customers,
The customers
demand
need it,
a
customers
delivery
demand
on
it,
Christmas
yeah.
Day. So,
Oof,
so we deliver on Christmas Day now.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We never used to, right? Like when I
Yeah.
joined the business, actually, probably, I don't know, late 2000s was the
Yes.
last time we closed for Christmas,
Yeah.
which is actually such a nice vibe, you know. You said goodbye to everybody.
Yes.
But now it's not anymore. Now when we hire people, we tell them,
You
if you're
prepare
in
to work,
production,
yeah?
you can't go on holiday over Christmas. You feel like Scrooge, eh? You're stealing
if you're-
Christmas.
And that's the thing, rush.
Yeah,
That's so sad. That's so sad. And it's around the corner.
yeah. But it's important time. At least
Yeah, it's an important time.
for us, it's we definitely peak at that time of the
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
So you guys also get busy,
No,
eh?
same here.
Huh?
So
People want to look
Christmas-
good at.
Yeah. I mean, like the only day we close is on Christmas. So we work right through.
And like the 24th must be busy those days.
Yeah,
eh?
24th is like crazy. 24th is really crazy. So we work. So we just try to push right through.
And after Christmas also. No?
Yeah. So after Christmas, I think it's not as busy as
yeah.
before, but it still has its highs. It's
Okay.
still definitely has its highs.
Yeah.
It's seasonal. It's seasonal, but I think that's
Why don't people cut their hair in winter?
yeah, that's the thing. People really don't cut it in winter.
really?
Yeah, it's a thing, huh?
joking.
Yeah,
I
no,
was joking.
serious.
So it
Like
keeps you warm.
yeah, like in winter, people just have this misconception is that, but it's true. I think like in winter your hair actually grows slower than what it
Really?
grows in summer. Yeah. So your growth of your hair is not as
So now I'm in the chair and you asking me questions. So. Hey, are you ever gonna cut girls' hair?
oh.
Huh? Girls.
Girls,
women.
yeah.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, there is
Started.
women, but much more of short hairstyles, you
Okay.
understand? So there's a lot of, I think especially when it comes to the ethnic groups, so
Yeah.
we do have a lot of
So you
ladies.
started
that's
to
come
do more of that.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
in the
which is-
normal stores, huh?
Yeah, in normal stores.
We're not calling her
stores, yeah.
legends for her.
No. We don't want to change. We don't want to change the concept. And so- But how important is diversifying? Because I know, like, especially when yourself, that you started looking at, it's not only rubs now that comes out of the factory.
It's not only ribs, so we do a lot. We do some private label products for both for some other restaurant groups, but for people like Woolworths and Pick n Pay and things like that
Yes.
as well. So we do more and more in that space. Also things like bacon and
Yes.
sausages. It's funny enough, we have in our annual strategy recession next week.
Yeah.
Where we ask these questions and what we should be doing and that. And I think
Yeah.
strategy is
Yes.
diversification is important. But
Yeah.
it's also important to know who you are.
Yes.
Because if you're everything to everyone, I think you're no one.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
critical. Yeah.
you really don't have a strategy.
You
And
really
at
don't have
times we've probably jumped around a little bit.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I was saying it when we were that very small business, and I said at the beginning how the business started.
Yes.
By necessity, we had a laser sharp strategy. Because there was no
Serious.
money.
There was no money.
There was no
Yeah,
money
yeah.
to go and do something new.
Yes.
We
That's so
didn't do
true.
anything else. We had one product effectively,
Yes.
one level of quality, targeting one customer. As we got bigger, you almost had this luxury then of looking a little bit at more, and I think you become a bit fat
Yeah.
and lazy almost.
Yeah.
And you say, well, let's do more and more, but more
Yeah.
is not better.
More is not
And we don't necessarily be bigger. We want to be, better.
Yeah.
And I think,
and much more effective than anything else.
yeah, like strategy isn't following best practice.
Yes.
Strategy isn't, it's conscious decision making.
Yeah.
And I think, so yeah, do you want to diversify? Yes. To be honest, we're not exactly crystal clear yet on where that is. I told
Yeah.
you we're doing that next week. 2 weeks time, I'll come back, I'll tell you. But we've got a broad plan. It's really like
Yes.
we're not a low-cost producer. We're a differentiator. We want to create
Yes.
products that people see value in. Like when I say
Yeah.
ribs made us famous, any category where we can
Plain.
become famous.
Yes.
No, not wherever we can play. I think we can play in lots of categories. We can make
Yeah.
polony tomorrow. We could sell steak.
Yes.
We could do lots of things.
Yes.
But to just be another,
Yes. Becomes
what's the reason to exist?
What's the reason? Yeah.
Huh?
So
It's,
true. So true.
If we
So
can't win,
true. And you win at your core.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
understand?
it's to understand what your core
Yes,
is.
yes, you understand what it is.
And we sometimes get confused.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. That's so
Yeah.
true. Because you diversify so much
Yeah.
that it becomes out of reach now, and people can't pinpoint as to what you do.
Correct, yeah. And I think the people that actually, obviously consumers matter, customers, they
Yes.
matter the most.
Yes.
But to serve those customers, the other people who matter are your own people.
Yeah.
And if your own people don't know who they're meant to be serving,
Then
also get
you
very
have a
confused.
problem.
Yeah, because
you
then
have
what
a
are we
huge
trying to
problem.
do? Create cheap
Yeah,
products or
yeah.
create the best products?
That's
Or
so
we try
true.
to make good value products.
Yes. Yes.
You need to define that,
need to
and,
define it
and
and-
talk it all the time.
Yeah.
And it can change because the world changes, because
Yeah.
your competitors change
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
so true.
Like you have to react to the world.
Yeah, yeah, and you have to put
It's,
it out there because you never know where we're going to in the next 5 to
Yeah.
10 years. But if as long as you're prepared for whatever comes, but I do think that sticking to your core is still critical because many of times we tend to forget it.
Yeah, no, but cause, I think it's how you define it. Like,
Yes.
if we define it as, say, differentiated products more than, say, just ribs necessarily,
Yeah.
differentiated cooked products. We, for Woolworths, launched some ethnic-based products like tripe and things like that.
Yes, yes.
Which is-
so you all done that.
Yeah, totally differentiated. like almost
totally
no one
different.
else can do it.
It's like, yeah,
But we could do it.
yeah,
And from a scale point of view, from an
Yes.
import point of view, from an ingredient point of view,
yes,
and
yes, yes.
technology and safety. Safety is a big
Yes,
thing on products
yes,
like that.
yes.
Like they're all based.
Yeah,
Those things that is core to us, even though it's
Yeah.
brand new. And that's
Yeah. That's
makes
so-
sense from a
Yes.
differentiation point
yeah,
of view.
yeah,
But it's not decided just because someone else has done it, we
Yeah.
should do it.
yeah,
It could be.
Yeah.
I fully believe we can copy.
yeah,
If we can copy, we must copy the best of the best.
yeah. That's so true. That's so, like
But-
China's.
Yeah, but if you just copy everything, I don't think you've got a business.
Yeah, because you can't be everything to everyone.
No.
That's true. Let me just finish.
It's David, as I say, is my partner. His late father, Johnny, he often had my father's original founding partner.
Yes.
He often had a say, and I say, well, much smaller business, but you can't drink all the water. And it's true, leave some water for others to drink
Yeah,
too.
that's so true. That's so true.
I think maybe it'll be out there. Let's leave the good water for us, though.
Yeah,
We want to eat that Evian water.
yeah,
right?
it's so true. Yeah.
We'll leave that dirty Vaal River too.
Ah, you're looking younger.
Yeah, I'm winning.
You like it?
I'm winning. Huh? You're winning.
Yeah,
Thank
no.
you. Are we done?
I hope you like it.
The bath, huh?
Yeah.
Cool.
Looks really nice, huh?
Thank you.
Looks really nice. Looks good.
Huh? You know how to cut hair still, huh?
I was worried.
You got a license,
I was worried. I thought I lost my touch.
Huh? How many do you do a week or a month?
Nah, like
A couple.
This is like maybe
Huh?
like
VIPs.
maybe like once a week, twice a week, maybe.
really?
I don't do it as much. Whereas
So when you
I'd like to
started,
do
what
it.
was a busy day? What's the most for you, or even one
the
of your
most
guys?
the most
What
I
someone
cut.
can do?
So the most I personally cut in one day was 36 people.
Sure.
36 people, and I
That's a
was
lot,
like,
huh?
that's a lot of
You
people.
get rich if you did that every day.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would have been fine. I mean,
I know once I went to my barber that I usually go to.
yeah,
Like there was a queue and I was waiting, and we go there
Yes.
eventually, and then I had
Yes.
to take my kid to a birthday party. I'm like, I've got
Yes.
5 minutes.
yes,
Okay, let's go. So if every barber could do it in 5 minutes,
5 minutes. Yeah,
you have
be a different
half
story.
the stores. You'd have a
that's so true. That's so
yeah,
true.
but I think it's more about the experience than just getting a haircut.
Just getting a haircut. Yeah, that's the thing.
Huh?
That's the thing.
You talk some shit.
And this is the reason why the founder is here. You can just talk some stuff. But I think in closing, thank you very much for coming.
Yeah,
Thank you very
thank
much
you.
for coming on board.
Thanks
And
for-
thank you for agreeing to come sit on my chair. But I think in closing, if you can just share words of wisdom that you probably learned, the best advice that you can give somebody that's out there that may be going through something in their business.
Yeah, it's there. It's always hard, but I'm learning. Yeah, nobody knows what they're doing. I'll show us how don't.
Yes.
Stay super humble. I mean, whatever you do is you remember to stay humble, and at times you aren't. We spoke about it earlier. Understand you're going to fail, and you fail all the time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just work harder, and that's all it is. Stay humble,
Yes.
work hard. If you work harder than everyone else, you're going to win eventually.
You're going to win.
Yeah,
No doubt about it.
that's it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
the
very
time.
much.
That was
Thank you very
awesome,
much.
man.
I think this was really great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. There's so much here, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
much.
not
I never
bold
knew
at
it's
all.
like, yeah, it's going all the way down here. I'm going to tell you to undress.